the project. And cost means what is the budget of the project, or how much you can spend as you deliver the project. So these are the three primary constraints. And always remember that when you are looking at the constraint of a project, we are always thinking of what is the constraint? Constraint means like if I change the scope, maybe time will change. Or if I change the time, then maybe the cost will change. And if I change the cost, maybe scope or time will get impacted. So they are all correlated. Let's take an example, and throughout this project, I will take maybe two examples, two projects examples. One is, let's say, we have been given a project, all of us. Let's imagine we are all project team, and all of us are given a project to construct a 5-star hotel by, let's say, some billionaire. Let's say Elon Musk. Yeah, he wants to start a hotel in Dubai, let's say. And he has given us this job of, or projects rather, to construct a 5-star hotel in Dubai. So we will get the scope. Scope means, what will be the size of the hotel, what will be the location, what exactly will be there, how many swimming pools it will have, what kind of gymnasium, what kind of hotels, restaurants, what kind of reception, what kind of rooms it will have, everything, specified very, very clearly defined, work, which we call it the scope. And then we'll also get, like, within 2 years, you have to construct this hotel. So time is there. And also maybe $20 million, within $20 million, you have to construct this hotel. Yeah. So that is maybe, it's a rather luxury kind of hotel, right? So that's the cost of the project. So these are the three things. But apart from that, there would be other constraints also. Like, for example, if I deliver within time, within cost, and within scope, I would say you are delivering 100% quality. And of course, if that too, if you are using only the resources which were allocated to them. So resources are also a constraint. Risk is also a constraint. So resources means, let's say I'm giving you 300 construction workers and a team of 50 managers and 5 cranes, etc., etc., etc. So these resources, within these resources, you have to accomplish your projects. Risk means you have to also foresee the risks. And there might be delays, there might be ups and downs, economy may change, there might be a new war or COVID, etc. All these risks you have to consider. So you should be intelligent enough to be able to understand the risks which are likely to occur, and you have to manage those risks. So as you are executing the project, you have to also think about the resources, risk, and quality. Plus one more thing, and one more thing is that you also should be worried about the customer satisfaction. So if I combine everything together, scope, what needs to be done in the hotel, as you construct, within how much cost, time, resources, risk, and maintaining the quality. It should not happen that, I deliver a 5-star hotel within 2 years, within $20 million, and quality of everything is not good. It is not as per the specifications. It should also be as per the specifications. And then also I have to keep thinking about the customer satisfaction. I have to do my work as per the requirements of the customer. So that is what is known as what are known as constraints of a project. I hope this is clear. Typically, every project goes through 3 stages for sure: initial phase, intermediate phase, and final phase. So now it depends on the project. You could divide into different phases also. It could be like initiation phase, planning phase, then execution phase, monitoring and controlling phase, and closing phase. We can have that like for hotel, it could be initial phase, means writing the project charter, initiating the project. After that, we can say government approval stage. Then after that, we can say designing stage, or then planning stage, and executing the planning stage, and so on and so forth. So you will have, every project will have different phases in its life cycle. Why life cycle? Life cycle means project is a one-time activity, as we saw. It is dead after some time. It doesn't exist after some time, isn't it? So that means it's a one-time endeavor. One-time endeavor means it is a life. Yeah. So we call it as a life cycle. Whatever is the beginning till the end, that we call it as a life cycle. Like all of us have a life cycle, isn't it? We have a beginning, we have an end. And we have a life cycle. So similarly, we have a project also as a life cycle. Okay, and the projects always have stakeholders who are stakeholders are those individuals or institutions who are positively or negatively impacted by the project. So a project manager obviously will be one of the key stakeholder, because he's actually, he's dedicating his time and intelligence and all his skills to accomplish the success of the project. So project manager is one of the stakeholders. Customer or the user, of course, is the one of the primary stakeholder. User and customer might be different sometimes. Like in a hotel example, Elon Musk was the customer, but the user could be the people who are going to stay in the hotel, right? Or user could be another hotel chain like Marriott Hotel. Like, if Elon Musk decides to give this hotel to Marriott group of chain or Sheraton or whatever, and they also become our stakeholders. Performing organizations is the organization which is executing this project, and team members are the people who are executing projects, and management team is the management team of the project who are executing the project. And the sponsors are the people or the team or the group of institutions who are providing the funds. So sometimes it could be an individual, it could be a group of individual, it could be a consortium, it could be a bank also. If the loan has been taken for accomplishing this hotel, then it could be it could be a bank as well. Influencers are those people who can, as I said, positively or negatively influence. Yeah. The stakeholders are different. Influencers are also stakeholder, please remember, right? And PMO is a project management office, if it exists. Not every organization it is there, but if it exists, it is actually managing. It becomes a back office for the project manager. It is managing all the resources. It's keeping track of the resources, track of the activities. It provides all the templates, how we will write a project charter, etc. And all these things, it will be like a sort of a back office, a support office for the project manager and project manager's team. So typically, as the project progresses, the influence of the stakeholders reduces, right? They can't influence much. Like in the beginning, a stakeholder can say, or the customer can say that I would like to have a white color painted on the building, but later on, initially he can change it. Oh, no, I don't think white, it should be yellow, it should be blue, it should be whatever. So he can influence the project. But towards the end of the project, it is very difficult to influence. And the cost of changes also increase as the project proceeds towards the end. Process groups interaction in a project, typically there are different process groups and knowledge areas. Typically for predictive projects, you have initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing. And this is typical of a predictive. Predictive means constructing the hotel. But if you are doing a IT projects, then we will be working in sprints. We'll be using an agile approach. We can have scrums. So I will talk about that after a while, maybe after 1 hour. And let us first, talk about the predictive model or predictive approach. So when you are starting a project, once I've got the project, usually I begin with the project chart. The whole team will begin with the project charter. When you're looking at the project charter, project charter is like a formal document which says that the project exists. Yeah. So that is something which is, it will be more like during a kickoff meeting, we will all write a project charter. It gives you the whole team a shared vision. So typically a project charter will have a project title, then it will have a project start date, it will have a finish date, it will have a project manager's name, it will have the project objectives, what exactly this project is about. It will have a budget, generally whatever budget is, it will have an approach. So in a way, project title, once again, if I want to see what exactly is written, I can say that it looks something like this. Now, this is just an example. It doesn't mean the project charter always has to look like this. And there's no specific template, a recommended template. But usually this information, whatever you see on the charter here, in the example here, usually that is part of the project charter. Sometimes you can add the risks. You can also add the names of other stakeholders. Yeah, that could be also part of the project charter. Just to see, this program is more like introduction to project management. I'm not going to the details of each and every tool and technique, but the idea of today's program is to make you understand, to introduce you. As I saw 90% of you have never attended any project management training. So the idea is that I'm starting with ground zero. Okay, so once I have collected made the project charter, the thing is, after that, I will develop a scope statement. Scope statement means a detailed work which needs to be done in the hotel. So hotel is large. I can't write a simple project charter and start working on it. I have to understand what exactly goes into the hotel. Scope statement would be generated through experts by asking the customer what does he want. You can look at similar hotels, other hotels which you might have completed, or some others have completed. You can also use experts technique, Delphi technique. Delphi means people are across the world. If I just trying to, let's say, this is America, this is South America, this is England, this is Europe, and this is let's say Africa, and and this is Saudi Arabia, and this is somewhere, let's say, yeah, here's the Dubai. So the hotel is in Dubai, yeah, and this is UK, and so on and so forth. And okay, there's not much space left, so we'll have here, so here, somewhere here. And then, of course, think of, if you go a little further, there's Australia. So people one person sitting in Melbourne, one person sitting in, say, UK, one person sitting in, let's say, New York. We engage them. And one person sitting in Japan, somewhere here. Just think of Japan towards the right. There's not enough space left there. So people sitting in different places, experts. I engage them and I say that, I ask them, okay, I'm constructing a hotel. What are the requirements? What should I take care? Because they're expert, they will give you a lot of inputs to compile everyone's input. Usually this is done anonymously. We will not tell who else is participating in the Delphi technique, but we'll tell, you're part of a Delphi technique. And we collect the data from everywhere, and then we compile that data and then send it back to them again, saying that, other 3-4 experts have this opinion. So you'll get a to and fro. You will do this 3-4 times iterations, and after that you'll get some great scope statement, which will take care of everything, whatever the hotel needs. So this is just one technique I just wanted to give. There are lots of other techniques which you will learn in the project management training. So using those techniques, and lots of techniques are there, and using those techniques, you develop a nice scope statement, which tells you, what are the things, and detailed scope statement. And once I've got all the work, then I will make a project chart. I'll create a project charter. Not just charter, WBS structure, work breakdown structure. Project charter already created, right? So first we created a project charter, then we wrote the scope statement, then we break this down, whole all the work which we have compiled it together in the form of a scope statement, we will break it down using work breakdown structure. WBS will have structure like this. We are decomposing the work, total work, into smaller and smaller components, and we keep going this to the down till the time we can with sufficient accuracy and with sufficient estimations of cost and time can be done with sufficient accuracy. So cost, time, resources utilized, all these can be done very with so good acceptable accuracy. Then we'll keep breaking it down, and then that becomes a work package of work, similar work, like for example painting, package of painting, or per package of like it could be constructing a swimming pool, etc., etc., etc. So a work package will contain a list of activities which we call it as WBS dictionary, work breakdown structure dictionary, WBS dictionary. So this is a work package. In the work package, we'll have list of activities, and we'll describe all the activities, what exactly each of the activity means. So that is when we are giving this work to our employees or our contractors, sometimes they are very clear what needs to be done. So that is WBS, and in the WBS structure, you'll have these numbers. You'll always see these numbers: 1, 1.3, 1.3.1. We call them as cost of accounts. We call it as cost of accounts. So I can identify the WBS element very easily. And work packages means a deliverable at the lowest level of the work breakdown structure. And the WBS dictionary means it includes all the work to be done in the work package. I hope you are with me till now. I'm being a little fast because I want to give you a lot of information. And most of you, 90% of you have never been to any project management. It's a great area of certification. If you do a PMP certifications, and we are very, very good in conducting training programs in PMP, and our passing rates are very, very high. So yeah, you can always think of joining our sessions. Okay, now let us go further. Now I have broken down the activities. Now I have to schedule those activities. I have to schedule the activities using the different techniques. So one technique is known as a network diagram, or precedence diagramming method, PDM method. So all these activities in a work package, let's say in a work package, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 activities, right? And some of the activities can be done in parallel, like say, for example, ABC can be done in parallel, and ABC and DE can be done in parallel. F also can be done in parallel. So I can list them down in terms of their relationship. The precedence diagramming method, what is the precedence? Which activity follows what other activity? I just list that down, and after that, what I do, I calculate the critical path. Critical path means the path with the longest duration. So I have got here 3 paths, 1, 2, and 3 paths, right? Which path has got the longest duration? ABC or DE or F? So generally, I write the paths like start, A, B, C, and finish. Another is start, D, E, and finish. And start, F, and finish. These are the 3 paths. Which path has the longest duration? So the first path, if I see 5 plus 6, 11 plus 4, 15 weeks. The first path is 15 weeks. Second path is how much it is? This is 8 or 11. I can't see that. Assuming it is 8, right? 8. 8 weeks, yeah. So this is 15 weeks. This is 8 plus 5 is 13 weeks. And this is 12 weeks. Which one is the highest duration path? This one. So this becomes my critical path. Why critical path? Because any delay on this path. This is an important part because any delay on this path will delay my project. I hope you understood this part. Any delay on this route will delay my project. Right? Now comes any questions up to here? Would you like to do an exercise on the network diagramming method, or you're already aware of this part? There's a problem which we can solve in case you are interested. Are you able to write? Yeah, you can write. Yeah. So, are you aware of network diagramming method? What is a float, etc.? Okay. So, you would like to do an exercise? Yes or no? Just let me know. Would you like to do an exercise? Okay, so Nishchita is telling yes. Prashant is telling yes. Interesting. Sairam is also telling yes. Okay, so let's do an exercise. Okay, so what we will do, I will just pull out one problem. Before, yeah, I do that. So typically, how the durations are presented. You can use milestone charts also. Milestone charts means this just shows when these particular milestones will be completed. And something called this Gantt charts. Gantt chart also can be used where the durations are indicated with a bar, right? So today, this is the status. How much is completed, how much is not completed. And you can also see how they are related to each other. Another example of a Gantt chart. So this is the work package. Yeah, this is work package. And these are the activities in the work package. And their relationships to each other. Precedence diagramming method. Rather than that, network diagramming, we are using Gantt chart. Here also you can show the relationships. What can be started parallelly, what needs to be started only after the first activity is completed. All these relationships can be easily studied in this as well. Then you have got your yeah. So let us take a example. So you are a project manager of a new project and have figured out following dependencies. We call it as dependencies. A is dependent on B. No, I cannot start B activity unless A is started or A is completed and all that. The different types of dependencies are always existing. So let's say activity A can start immediately and has an estimated duration of 3 months, right? It could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. No, we are not concerned with the unit here. So its approval it can be started immediately and it will take 3 months. So if I want to write and denote it as a, let us say, I'll just put it here like a start. And this is an activity A, which takes 3 months. So 3 units, right? This activity A. It can start immediately. Then comes B. It can start after activity A is completed and has an estimated duration of 3 months. Okay. And also C can start also after activity A. So you can see B and C, they can be done in parallel. So just write it here, B and C. B and C can be done in parallel. And after that, D can start after activity B is completed. So, let's say B and B 3 and 6 months. I have to write the duration also. So let me write the duration. 3 and 6 months. Then D can start after B is completed and has duration of 8 months. So D can start after B is completed. Okay. D can start after B is completed and it's okay. Then next comes E can start after C is completed and also after D. So both C and D have to complete before you start commissioning. So that is E. So E takes 4 months. So how I'll depict. Both C and D have to complete it before I start E. Yeah, both have to complete. And then you finish the. Yeah, so this is how I'll construct a network diagram. So which path is the critical path here? If you can write down in the chat box. Let's see who is going to give the right answer first. A to D, yes. So Nishchita has given a Nishchit answer. Nishchit means confirmed. Which is already decided. Excellent. So A to E. A to E, but A to E is both, yeah. Yeah. So S, A, B, D, E. Yeah. So S Sairam is given a very yeah. So A, B, D, E, right? So this is our uh, and 14 Jamal is telling 14 yeah, 14 is the critical path because E was how much? I forgot to write. He's taking 4, right? So let me write that also. Then you can calculate the total path. Yeah, 4. So what is the critical path duration? It will be 3 plus 3 plus 8 plus 4, 18 months, right? And the other path is taking the 3, 9 plus 3 plus 6 plus 4, 13, right? 13 months. Great. Now you can also further let me, if this is appearing too easy, let us finish. Let us learn also one more thing. Although in exam you don't have to do all these things, this is just for understanding. A network diagram will be given to you and you have to just answer some questions. It may happen like that. So when you are going from left to right, you try to, write in the box, early start, sorry. So early start and early finish. Okay. So early start, early finish, you have to keep writing in each of the boxes. Yeah. So let us say I can start here. I can start at 0 and earliest I can finish in 3 days, 3 months, 3 weeks, whatever is the duration here, 3 units, right? B, I can start at 3 and C also I can start at 3. B, I can finish earliest by 6 because 3 plus 3 is 6. Here I can finish by 9. Here I can start at 6 and 6 plus 8 is 14. Okay. And E, now can you tell me E, when is the earliest I can start? When is the earliest I can start? Earliest I can start now. Be very careful. Both C and D have to be completed. Both C and D have to be completed. So you cannot start unless both C and D have been completed. So it will be 14, right? Even though C is completed, but I have to wait for D to get completed. So that is why 14 is the early start. And this will be 18. I hope you understood this, right? Now let us look at the other one. Latest you can start and late finish. So we have to go from right to left while we are making this. So here we can say 18. 18 is the latest finish, of course. And 18 minus 4 is 14. So 14 is the earliest start. Sorry, latest start. Latest you can start by 14 only. Cannot delay that further. If I want to complete it in 18 months. Now, can you tell me what will come here? At D and C, what will come here? What will come here? Latest finish in D will be how much? Latest finish in D would be 14, of course. And C, latest finish could be how much? Of course, it could be 14 because I can finish C by 14 also. It will not impact the project. Right? And latest I can start, if I can end by 14, latest I can start by 14 minus 6, that is 8. Okay. I hope you got it. I hope everyone got this. So let us look at D, latest start. 14 minus 8 is 6. Now, one hint I can give it to you is on a critical path, both of them, early finish and late finish, will always be same. Okay. So here it is 6. And latest I can start B when 3. Now the trick. Now this is the trick. Can you tell me what is the latest finish date or time for A? Is it 3 or is it 8? I already give you a hint. It is falling on the critical path. So latest I can finish A by when? I can finish it by 3 only. Yeah, I can't delay there. I can't delay there. Yes, you're right, Nishchita. I can't delay. Right? Because if I delay, the whole project can delay. So I cannot delay. And this is, of course, 0. So in the critical path, you will always see that there is no float. Float means like I cannot float. Like, for example, here, the float is there. Float means 9 minus 14 is how much? 14 minus 9 is 5. 5 months my activities can float. I mean, they can get delayed. For 5 months, they can get delayed. But not for the other path, because that is the critical path. I hope you are getting it, right? I hope you are understanding this part. Any questions? Yeah. So you can always have a look at this. This is being recorded and you will receive the recording. If you attend the session for full 2 hours, you will get the recording. So feel free to watch that again, even if you forget later on. So this is how we will make our, float and slack will be used in, critical path method. Yes, you're right. Now that was about scheduling, and now let us look at a little bit of budgeting. How will I report my budget? How will I report my progress in terms of whether I am, using my funds properly, or it is being over-utilized or under-utilized? if I need to complete a particular job in $1,000, am I completing in $1,000, or I am taking more, or I am taking less? Taking less is always better. So let's imagine that we are constructing a wall. Or let's say boundary wall, four boundary walls, or four sides. The first side will be completed in 1 day, and it will have $1,000. Second side can be completed in 1 day, and it will take $1,000. Same here as well, and same for the fourth one also. So what is the budgeted cost for this? What is the budgeted completion? Budgeted cost. Budgeted completion is $4,000, right? Yeah. Now, let's imagine that three days have elapsed. 3 days are completed. And I want to report what is the progress of the wall. And you go to the site and you see that this is the status. The first day, 100% of the wall is completed. And you are taking, you have taken $1,000. You planned for 1,000 only. The second wall is also 100% completed, but actually you're taking more money while constructing, $1,200. And the third wall is half completed, and you have taken $600. And fourth, of course, is not yet completed. So now, what I'll do? Yes. If I want to represent as a picture, it will be like something like this. Let's say green one. A green one looks good. Okay, which shade? This shade. Okay, good. Which shade? Okay, this shade. Let's see. Let's try me this. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah. This is also complete, and this is like half completed, right? Half complete. Yeah. Now this is the status of our wall. And additionally, it is also told that you have taken $1,000 for this. Unfortunately, you have taken no more here, 1,200. And you have completed half, and you should have taken $500 to complete, but you have taken $600. Right? So if I want to write down here, what was the planned value? Planned value of work, which was supposed to be completed, value in terms of dollars. So I had planned for $3,000, right? But I have actually earned how much value? Yeah, you will earn value only you complete. You can't earn the value without completion, right? So how much I have earned for first? 1,000. Second also 1,000. Yeah, I've completed the wall. I have earned only 1,000. And the third also I have earned 500, because customer is going to pay that much amount. So earned value is 2,500. Now let us see how much was the actual cost. Actual cost is how much I have paid, 1,000, plus how much actual cost I have paid, 1,200, plus how much actual cost I have paid 600. So this is 2,800. Now let us look at what happens if I want to report the schedule variance. The schedule variance means, am I as per the schedule? First of all, tell me, are you as per the schedule? Well, applying some simple logic. There's a schedule variance, isn't it? You are not as per the schedule. Do you agree? That you are not as per the schedule. You are behind the schedule, right? So you have not completed the work which you were supposed to complete. So let us see how much you completed. $2,500. How much you had planned to complete? 3,500. So you are behind 500 worth. 500 units or here dollars of money. We are behind that. $500 means half a day, right? One day cost, one day value is 1,000. So 500 means you are half a day behind schedule. And what is schedule performance index in terms of, ideally it should have been 1. You planned 3,000. You should have completed 3,000, right? But unfortunately, you completed only 2,500. So here, what is the 2,500 divided by 30? Can you please? 3,000, how much it is? It's 0.833, right? Or 83% if I express in terms of it, right? Yeah, Nishchita is doing really well. Excellent, great. So we are, 83% on speed is like 83%. Ideally, it should be 100%. Whatever is scheduled, you should match. But now, unfortunately, 83%. Okay. 83%. Now, if you operate at 83% like that only, the total estimated duration will not be 4 days, but it is like whatever it is, 4 point something. You will not take 4 days. If you keep working like this, the way you have been working, it will be 4 point something. Now, let us look at the budget. Budget part. Budget is actually, let us look at this. Budget variance we want, right? To cost variance, we call cost variance. How much you have completed minus how much actually you took money to complete that job. So how much it is? So right now you have taken $300 extra, more than what you were supposed to. And cost performance index, CPI. How much it is? 0.89, 89%. So you're not going to take $4,000, but you are going to take something else, maybe $4,400 by the time you complete, because you're not really doing well in terms of managing your budget. You're not able to manage your cost. You're like 89% efficient in managing the cost. So Depending on that, if you continue to operate the way you have been operating, you will be getting around 4,400. So that will be your estimate at completion, EAC. So we had budgeted completion. Yeah. We are doing budgeted completion, I believe. And then someone can do calculations for me. 4,000 divided by 0.89. 4,000 divided by 4,479. Okay, great. So what will be the additional money you will require? It will be $479. So this is how you can report. We just did earned value analysis, EVA, earned value analysis in PMP. I hope you understood this. As usual, I would like to repeat that this whole video is available on the internet. This is being recorded and it will be available to you later on. You can always go through this. Great. Any questions are there? Okay. Now, as you are executing your project, you will also look at the, you'll have some quality related issues. You can use different types of techniques. Now, this is more like a demonstration. You are not attending a regular class right now. It's like I'm introducing you to the, project. So here it's not like mandatory to, learn that. I'll not go into descriptions of all those tools and techniques, but I'll just show you, how a project manager usually uses these tools to manage the quality related issues. Like, for example, procurements are being delayed. Procurements are some things which usually are integral part of a project. You will be procuring cement and the steel, and you'll be procuring the services of some professionals. You'll be procuring paints, so many things, tiles, construction items. So if they get delayed, it's a problem, right? So how a quality manager, a person who is into quality, how he will approach this problem? So as a project manager, you have to also remember that you should have team. See, to manage the budget, he himself is not supposed to manage everything. Time. To manage the budget, he can hire a cost accountant. To manage quality, he can hire a quality person, or green belt or a black belt, Lean Six Sigma black belt. Yeah. This is the highest qualification on quality. And when you are doing a black belt, it doesn't mean that you have to always be into quality. You can still be doing whatever you are doing, but you'll be doing it in a better way. So let's say, so here the purpose is to demonstrate all these tools and techniques, which are also part of our PMP training. So let's say procurement time is collected, the data is collected. So whenever you are dealing with continuous data which is expressed in number. So this is a continuous data. Okay. Let me show you an example of attribute data. This is an attribute data, like reasons or delay. It is categories. It is in attributes, right? Another example could be clarity of our requirements. Clarity of our requirements. It's high, medium, low. It is again a category. It's like there's no No, there's no, it can't be, the numbers can't be represented on a continuous line. The categories we can count, like high is 3, medium is 5 times, low is appearing 2 times. I can count. But that remains a count. It's not a number. It's not a number on a continuous scale. 17.2 counts cannot be like 17.2 times I find clarity is low. I cannot say like that. So count discrete numbers. I can express clarity as discrete number. 5 are low, 7 are high, and so on and so forth. So whenever I'm dealing with continuous data, I can make a histogram. Histogram means I'll divide this whole minimum, maximum range, and I will find in class of intervals what appears how many times. It looks something like this. Like between 120 to 130, most of the time our procurements are taking 124 days, which could be weeks, 124 hours, could be anything. See, the units don't matter in terms of when you're dealing with numbers, the units don't matter. Of course, when you're trying to make sense out of those numbers in analysis, the units do matter. So here it is like 124 days it is taken to procure some critical items. And it doesn't go below 120 usually and doesn't go above 130. So we call this as a normal distribution. See, the bell-shaped curve which is fitted on this histogram is known as normal curve, normal distribution. Now you look at the data, the bar chart, which is, the histogram is a bell-shaped. Always you will find that it is generally looks like an inverted bell shape. And this is the property of almost all the repetitive activities in the world. And that's a strange phenomenon. That's like something very interesting to know that, right? It happens most of the time. If you give a target to people, they will try to achieve the target. Someone will be like on the left side, someone will be on the right side, but usually they will be, on an average, they will hit the targets, right? So here it's 124 was the average. Now we have, you can make a fishbone diagram. So we just saw histogram. Then we can make a fishbone or cause and effect diagram. It looks like this. Man, machine, material, method, measurement. So here you are using M to brainstorm on all the possible causes related to machine, material, method, measurement, Mother Nature. Again, nowadays softwares are available, although they will not ask you any question on the software. That's demonstrating. They will give you the outputs from the softwares. When in the questions, they may give you that. Usually they don't give, but they may give. See, you can't predict the pattern of the questions. So the best way and best tip, I'm telling you, to pass the examination, and number one tip, I'll tell you the other two also towards the end. Number one tip is don't study too much. Now, don't study too much material. Stick to the material given by the PMI. And when you come to our training sessions, we give you only PMI material. We don't give any material which is easier to teach. That's a trick. Sometimes the trainers will show you the material which is easier for them to teach. But we use PMI material. Not a single page more, not a single page less. And when you are using a PMI material, you are sure of passing. And PMI material is only given to accredited institutions like us. And it's updated on a monthly basis. So you'll always be getting the latest one. And the exam is based on the latest pattern. Yeah. So this was our if I want to make a cause and effect diagram of this particular man, machine, method, man, machine, material, we brainstormed on the causes. Brainstorming is a very, very common technique used in project management. Brainstorming can be done to estimate the costs. Brainstorming can be done to estimate the duration of our activities. Brainstorming can be done right now. You are using to brainstorm on the possible causes of a problem which we are facing in the project. Let me talk about brainstorming a little bit before I proceed. So, once we have collected the data, so when you are doing you are as a project manager, the purpose of brainstorming is a method of generating lots of ideas quickly. So as a project manager, you may have to facilitate or ensure that some facilitator is facilitating the brainstorming. As I told you, there are lots of purposes of brainstorming. But let me first tell you about what to do a brainstorming, what are the prerequisites of brainstorming. And also, after that, I'll tell you some of the ground rules which we need to follow while doing the brainstorming. By encouraging the creativity, it also involves lots of people, and it also generates excitement and energy within the team members, and it separates the people from ideas they suggest. There are certain prerequisites of conducting a brainstorming session. They are very simple, but they should not be ignored. First, the purpose of brainstorming should be clear to everyone who is participating in the brainstorming. So it's better to give them the topic, tell them what exactly is the purpose of brainstorming in advance. Participants should be from the process or may not be from the process. You may also like to invite the people from other departments to get a fresh perspective. You should also have a facilitator. Facilitator is generally the person who's not participating in the brainstorming. Means he's not participating in generating the ideas, but he or she is facilitating the whole session. Usually, he or she can be a consultant or a person from another department, or one of the persons from the team can act as a facilitator. You should also have stationery, and you should also use the appropriate tool of brainstorming. So there are different brainstorming techniques we will be learning in improve phase. You can use either of them. You should have a meeting room and flip charts and other facilities, whatever is required to conduct a brainstorming session. And you should also communicate to the participants about the time, venue, topic well in advance, so they are mentally prepared for brainstorming. As I told you that brainstorming is used for either generating the possible root causes or getting the ideas to solve the problems. There are certain rules which need to be followed in brainstorming. The rules of brainstorming are: give equal opportunity to everyone who is participating. So tell them to participate, and you can use different techniques. As I told you, we will be learning in the improve phase. Capture all the ideas, so document all the ideas. Whatever is being discussed, whatever ideas the participants are given, someone should be there to document, or a scribe you can appoint to document all the ideas. Leave your designation and ego along with your shoes outside the meeting room. That means don't think that if you are senior, your idea carries more weightage. So obviously this ground rule should be very clear to everyone, and everyone should be encouraged to give an idea, and everyone's idea should carry equal weightage. There should be a non-threatening environment. When people are giving ideas, they should not be afraid of giving ideas. So you should create an environment where people should be encouraged to give the ideas. Also, we should ensure that wherever the brainstorming is taking place, there should not be any disturbance, so people are focused on brainstorming. Sometimes people might deviate from the topics. There is a tendency that some important issue crops up during the discussion. So at that time, you can always create a parking lot saying that, well, this idea or this issue is very, very important, and we can park it to be discussed after a while once we complete the brainstorming on this particular topic. We should encourage people to fantasize freely. We should not put brakes on our thoughts. So you can give some out-of-the-box ideas, you can give some wild ideas, and if people are giving you wild ideas, they should be encouraged. If you give a specific duration of brainstorming, we should try to complete the brainstorming within the time duration and defer evaluation. Now, this is one of the rules which is often violated. People start discussing the ideas. Someone gives an idea and someone else says, well, it will not work in an organization. Or some other person gives an idea and someone else comments that, wow, it's a great idea. So don't evaluate. Reserve your comments for evaluation at a later stage. When you are generating the idea, when you are generating the root causes, they are not to be evaluated. You cannot say that it is a good idea or this is a very good root cause which you have thought of. No evaluation, just write down whatever is being suggested. Generate quantity, do not worry about the quality at the initial stages. So you have to generate lots of root causes, lots of solutions, more the better. A pearl diver, he dives into the sea to find the pearls. If he just collects 10 oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very low. But if he collects thousands of oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very high. So similarly, if you want to collect great ideas, some of the out-of-the-box ideas, some creative ideas, then definitely you should create more and more ideas. So how to generate those ideas? There are different techniques. Some of these techniques we'll be discussing in our improve phase. But right now, we are in analyze phase. And as I told you, either you are using cause and effect or tree diagram, you can use brainstorming. And the first brainstorming is, interestingly, to find the root causes. Okay, so I think this was very clear. Any questions, just let me know. But let's not forget, we have got so a lot many quality tools to learn. So cause and effect diagram we have seen the histogram. Let's see Pareto chart. Pareto chart means I can't handle so many causes. See, now I've got so many causes which might be impacting. See. We did our cause and effect diagram, right? Okay, so many causes. Now I can't handle all of them together. Some of them are really impacting a lot. Some of them are not so important. Like, see, 80-20 rule. Have you heard of 80-20 rule? Pareto's 80-20 rule. Vital few, trivial many. Sairam says yes. Okay, great. Okay, those who have not heard of, let me tell you. Okay, would like to learn Pareto? I can talk about that also. See, I have videos for everything. When you join my course, you'll get all these videos. Yeah. Although they will not ask you to make a Pareto, but yeah, Pareto is explained here, if you're. So these videos are all given to you, plus of course the live sessions, plus of course a lot of question answers, mock exams as well. So all these together will not allow you to fail. Another way to narrow down on the root causes is Pareto analysis. Vilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist who found that 80% of the wealth was with 20% of the people in Italy. And Joseph Juran, he borrowed this principle, the 80-20 principle from Pareto, and he applied to quality, and he said that 80% of your problems are due to the 20% of the causes. So if you have listed down 10 causes, 20% of those 10 causes, that means 2 causes, are responsible for 80% of your problem. Let us take an example how to apply Pareto to our procurement cycle time case study. Let us imagine that we have listed down 5 causes. I'm just taking 5 causes as an example. In fact, the causes can be 6, 7, or 10, or 12 also. So if the 5 causes which I've listed down are, let's say, late deliveries is one of the causes of procurement delays. Then specifications are not clear. There's also another cause. Maybe the delayed approvals are found to be one of the causes. And then the delayed vendor selection.
and the customs delay. If I collect the data on delayed procurements, and let's say I collect the data on 50 delayed procurements, I find that 25 of them are due to the delayed deliveries, 15 of them are due to the specifications lack of clarity, and 3 of them are due to the delayed approvals, and 6 of them are due to the delayed vendor selection. And customs delay is responsible for 1 delay in procurement. So in this case, I will list down all of these frequencies against the causes, and after that I will rearrange the causes in the descending order of the frequency. So here it would be late deliveries 25, specifications not clear 15, delayed vendor selection 6, delayed approval 3, and customs delay 1. After that, I will calculate the percentage contribution of each of the causes. So in this case, delayed deliveries are contributing to 50% of the total causes, and specifications not clear is contributing to 30%. Then we have delayed vendor selection contributing 12%, and delayed approval as 6%, and customs delay as 2%. In the next column, I will write down the cumulative frequencies. So cumulative frequencies would be late delivery, the first one contributes to 50%. First 2, that is late deliveries and specifications not clear, contribute to 80%. And then the first 3 contributes to 92%, and so on and so forth. And after that, once I have made this table, I will create a graph which will arrange all the causes in the descending order, a bar chart, which will indicate the causes in the descending order. And also it will tell the cumulative frequency as well. So from the graph, I can easily see that 80% of the delays are due to delayed deliveries and specifications not clear. So these are the 2 root causes which are contributing to the 80% of my total procurement delays. This was just an example. Obviously, you will have many causes, and you can put this into Minitab, and you can easily get your Pareto chart in Minitab. For that, first you have to put the data in Minitab in the 2 columns of causes and frequency. Once you have got this data into these 2 columns, then you go to Stat, then Quality Tools, and then Pareto Chart, and you can put the causes against the causes, and of course the frequency in the frequency columns, and click on OK.
So, this one actually, what I'm just talking about is more like, using this particular tool. Now, they'll not ask you any, how to do a Pareto chart, etc. But I'm just telling you that, these charts are easily available, and the chart might be given to you, and this question might be there, related to like which are the topmost causes for, a particular problem. And then here you can obviously see that, these cumulative percentage are given, count are given. So you can just say that, and these could be the top vital future causes which are impact. Well, so these are other charts also there, control charts, etc. I won't go into the details of all the tools, but I just wanted to show you some of the tools. And control chart is exactly, well, if you are interested in knowing about the control chart, what I would suggest is please go and watch my yellow belt training, yellow belt 2 hours. You can attend a live yellow belt training session also, which I keep conducting almost every 2 weeks. Or you can even just see a recording of it. Recording of it is available. I think one of the recordings may be on the YouTube link. My team will be putting up here, so you can even have a look at that. Okay, let me ask you some questions then. Now, if you have understood this part, let me ask you some questions, and I hope you are ready to answer some questions. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your chance to become a millionaire. And the first question for $10,000 on your computer screen.
Let's play. Here we go.
When a product or service is completely meeting a customer's requirements, what is the right answer? Right answer will give you $10,000 and wrong answer will not give you anything because you have not crossed any milestone. If you answer this question, you will cross a milestone and minimum you'll take away $10,000. So you can write your answers. Yeah, and Nishita has given the fastest fingers first. And Nishita has given Sairam also. Praveen Patel also has given the right answer. And yeah, $10,000 will be given to you. Yeah, virtual game, virtual money. Yeah, you're right. Ultimately, the word ultimately is important. Ultimately responsible for quality management on the project. Responsible for quality management of the project. Yes, it's project manager. Yes, Jamal has given the right answer first, and Nishita and Sairam uh, have also given the right answer. You're right. Great. Okay, now I'll not spend too much time. And now, see, typically, whenever you are working in the team, team will undergo 5 stages. It's also known as Tuckman's ladder. Forming means, people come together, they form a team, and we do give lots of. Uh, have you heard of this, or would you like more information on it, or you would like to get more information on Agile? I've got a beautiful video on team building and stages. This is also known as Tuckman ladder. You want to see that video, or you would like to go to the Agile part? Whatever. What is your choice? I'll go with the Pavel's choice. Would you like to know about this, or would you like to go to the? Okay, let me give a brief idea about this at least. I'll not show you the video. Video gives you a much more detailed explanation. But forming means when you form a team, say A, B, C, D, E, you are in one team. The team is not thinking about the objective. They're thinking about, why I'm there in the team. There are question marks. Why D is made the project leader? What is the purpose? What exactly I will be doing? A lot of questions. It is known as storming stage. And then people become smooth. The smoothing happens. People accept each other, and then people are ready to work. And then only they are in the performing stage. And now they start performing. So as a project manager, you should know, don't expect results immediately. Every team undergoes forming, storming, performing. And of course, after that, you have to adjourn the team. Adjourn means say, okay, goodbye, thank you very much. And smilingly, you have to say goodbye, reward, recognition, etc. So people will be there with you in the next project also, right? So these are the 5 stages of team building. Every project manager should facilitate. There are different activities which you need to perform in each stage, which of course you will be knowing. There's a conflict management, maybe all about conflict management. I will tell you towards the end. Please stay on after a while also, and I'll play and my team will play definitely. But let me tell you, conflicts are always, doing something good for the project. Sometimes you may feel that conflicts are bad and you should avoid conflicts. In fact, conflicts could be good. Why? Because mostly the conflicts are arising out of differences between the schedules or project priorities or resources. And I'm fighting for my resources. I want that IT person. Please give me the 2 IT people for 3 weeks. No, I don't want to give you, and something like that. Technical opinions, administrative procedures, and everything. Sometimes you'll see that they are influencing the project positively. Like schedule conflict is, hey, you told me that you'll complete the job in 10 days, but it's now 12 days. Now this is a conflict, but it's actually helping the project, right? So there are different ways of dealing with conflicts. Excellent video I've got, and I will give it to you. Maybe towards the end of once I've completed the whole topic. After say 20 minutes or so, I will play that video for you. But let me talk about a little bit of, let us see. let me talk about risk as well. Risk generally. And I'll not go into the details. Otherwise, in our exam, usually when we are in the classroom, we usually do a good exercise. We think about our hotel and what kind of risks it may have. So what I'll do, I'll pull out an exercise done by some of our students in previous session. In fact, when I was doing this similar program last time, I focused a little bit more on risk. So we did an exercise. Today I said I'll be focusing on something else. Like I focused on earned value management. I focused on schedule management. And so let me just show you typically what risk is and how we create a risk register. So we list down, we brainstorm. Again, we are using brainstorming technique here. We brainstorm on what are the possible risks. So we have listed down all the risks here. So risk has usually event, there's a component, probability, impact. So these are the important key elements of any risks. Event means what is triggering the risk. Risk was really, see, also one more thing, risk can be positive or risk can be negative. Risk could be positive. Positive risk means something unexpected but which will help you. That is also a risk. And negative risk, obviously everyone knows, something which will not help us, something which will delay the project, or it will take more money out of the project, or you will not be able to fulfill the requirements of the customers. These are all negative risks. So probability, how probable? Generally 0 to 1, or you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers also. You can choose your scale. So probability means most likely will have a higher probability, higher number associated with it, and least likely means lower probability. Impact means very high impact. That means high number, and 1 means something which is very least likely to impact, not much impact on our project objectives. It will be having lower number. Then we multiply probability with impact to get the severity. Okay, and we can also create a severity, probability and impact matrix, which gives you severity. Like for example, 0.9 into 0.9 is 0.81 in the first case, right? 0.9 into 0.9 is 1.8. The numbers in the cells are the severity numbers. The severity numbers, you are getting it by multiplying the probability and impact. And then you can come out with some risk responses. I will show you that example, but let me explain the theory part first. So once I have got identified, some risks are very, very severe. So you have to frame a strategy to deal with the risk. Like one could be avoidance. Avoidance means I'll totally avoid that risk. I'll do something else so that that risk never occurs. Mitigation means maybe risk will occur, but I'll reduce the probability of that risk, or I will try to reduce the impact of the risk. So mitigate. I'm trying to reduce the probability or impact of that risk, so that severity reduces. Or transference means I transfer this risk to someone else. I don't want to take the burden. Something negative happens, maybe someone else let someone else suffer for that. That's transfer. Like insurance is one of the good examples of transfer of risk. Similarly, positive risk would be something good can happen. So exploit means use it. Why not? Utilize that. Share it means share it with someone else. I cannot handle all the positive part. I don't have sufficient resources. Then I can share it with some other third party or some other department, or I can also pass on this benefit to the head office, right? And enhance means something positive may occur. I would like to further enhance that possibility of that risk, or probability of that risk, or positive impact of that risk. So one more thing would be acceptance. Acceptance, I will accept. Like I don't want to do anything. Let it happen, and it's okay. I have sufficient, some little bit of buffer funds I have kept to be, I will just ensure that this fund is going to take care of all these risks. So this diagram, which I'm going to show you, yeah, this is the exercise which was done by our previous batch students. Yeah. So they came out like event, like negative is represented in the red, and positive events are listed down in the green. So fire, procurement delay, what are the probabilities and what is the impact? What is the impact of those events is listed down here. And what is the severity? We can obtain by multiplying those two numbers, severity. And then what is the risk response strategy? So whether it was like fire, the severity was high, probability was 0.3 and impact was very high, 0.9. So severity is 0.27. So we are, we decide a threshold, like above this, we will take an action. So here, let's say above 0.24, I will take an action. So any severity going beyond 0.24, we are going for an action. So transfer means buy insurance. Okay. And similarly, there is an escalate. Escalate means I am escalating to head office, this particular risk. So you can see these are all given here. Now, I'll not go into the details of explanation of this because of the lack of time. I would also like to talk about a little bit of agile. What is agile? And, yeah. Any questions? Still, you have any questions? I'll be happy to answer that before I go to agile. Okay. So if there are no questions, let us. Okay, some of you are asking about the course dates. Can you wait for some time or? Okay, my team, can you, because some people are asking about the course dates. Okay, before that, let me ask you. By the way, you have earned 2 PDUs by attending the course today. Still 15 minutes to go, so don't go away. Yeah, if you would you like to join my project? Let me ask you this question. Would you like to join my project management trainings? In case, because then only I'll show you the timings and the dates of the next batch. So Nishchita is giving a Nishchit answer. Yes. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका. Yes. So some of you have said, okay, I'll attend very soon, immediately. Okay, thanks for that. And one of you has said, I will attend later, and that's great. So thank you, thanks a lot, and I will send you all the details. Actually, right now also we can, if you can share. Yeah, so the upcoming batch, you can see here, we have got training on weekdays or weekends. And so we have 2 batches. One is on Saturdays. It's on Friday, I think. It's on Fridays. Oh, okay. So we have Friday batch. Is it? And one is in the evening, right? There's no evening batch this time. So we'll conduct the training program on weekdays also and weekends also. So weekends generally it's on Saturdays or Fridays, and weekdays batches is on Monday to Thursday in the evening. So I will tell you about the timings. Maybe I'll just say maybe here some mistake is there about this. So I'll just tell you the dates might be. I'll yeah, registration. Of course, I'll tell you. Let me also tell you some more information. You can go for the registration. We are approved by the PMI, and we are highly accomplished and appreciated by the PMI for our excellent training as well. So if you are having that issue of whether I will pass the exam or not, so you don't have to get stressed out about it. We are all the Anexas instructors, including me. So I'll be conducting the session for you. In case you join this, like you're joining the batches in the future, in the next 2 to 3 months, I'm your trainer, right? And we are also like an authorized partner of PMI, and for the last 10 years. And we'll prepare you for the whole examination step by step. And you will be getting hands-on knowledge, and we'll be giving you sufficient examples to understand those concepts, so that even if you have never attended any session, you will be able to understand the concept. And today, actually, it was very, these are the dates. Don't go by the dates. Dates I will change maybe. That's, I think, March. In the March, I'll tell you about dates a little later. But these are the timings actually when we are doing in weekdays. So weekdays usually the dates. If someone can give me the dates, please, that will be great. So we will. I'll soon give you the dates, right? So we have got in the evenings. These are our timings. Monday to Thursday, and during the on Saturdays usually we have got. So weekdays it is March 23. So it starts on March 23rd. Yeah. And the weekends, it starts on February 18th. Okay. So, yeah. So sorry for that mess up. Actually, the dates were a little bit incorrectly published. So sorry for that. So here, yeah, these are the actual dates. So you can choose your, if you want evenings, and you can also join both. You can join, once you become our student, you can join the sessions any number of times, multiple times. Yeah. Okay, what I will suggest, Agile, for Agile, I don't have much time left, but I will give you a video, okay, a link. You please watch that video. It's a half-an-hour video, and it talks about Agile. Introduction to whole of Agile. You will know everything about Agile in half an hour. So can my team put that video here, link here? So there are 2 videos and also conflict management. I promised you that to show, but because of the lack of time, because in 2 hours we can't cover almost everything. So just Agile video, which is around half an hour. Please watch that. That will give you an information of Agile. And the second part is the conflict management. So that video also we will put. So Agile Scrum, if you see it, it is coming here. And the one which is there for the conflict management, which is also coming here. Okay, the overall course of the course actually fee, which is $1,000, has been now reduced, and a lot of things have been provided. Otherwise, see, many people, they charge separately for separate things. Collectively, everything, PMP training, access to PMI material, 1,000 mock questions, PDO certificate, project templates, meetup software, annual membership to alumni group, everything together is for you at this price, right? So depending on your country, I hope This is very clear depending on wherever you are. This is the price of the course. And it's, let me tell you, it's all authorized course. When you buy the material is coming from PMI. Okay. So this is again authorized training. All the videos, material, everything given by PMI will be given to you. And yeah, mock exams also will be given to you. So it is not including the PMP examination fee. PMP examination fee is another, if you want to appear for the PMP examination to become a PMP, you have to appear for the examination, which is around $500. But if you just want to get the certificate from PMI of attendance, PDUs, this is the fees for that. So you will get, after the training, you will get in $250 or like 525 dirhams or 10,000 rupees plus taxes, which comes to around somewhere around 8 or 12,000 something around that. You will get the PDU certificate, authorized PMI certificate, saying that you have completed the training, and which also is valuable, by the way. And of course, after that, you can appear for the exam. Great. So 2 videos, please watch: conflict management and agile scrum, which I'm giving it to you. So collectively, if you are including PMI certification fees, so $500 just add to your whatever is the fee in your country. They're the same actually. Just add $500. Yeah. So this fee actually we don't take. You have to give it to PMI. You have to enroll with PMI directly, and then you can complete. Great. Any other questions you have? So this is offer only for today because we are starting this batch in March. So we are going to close this offer. And because some of the people have already registered, so we don't have much spaces left. So this is the reason, we are doing a limited time offer. And after that, of course, those who want to join later on also, just at least show the interest and register so that, you can get this offer or avail of this offer. Now, the 3 tips. First tip, I already told you. Second tip is solve the cloned questions of XPMI, which we'll be giving it to you, and write our 2 mock exams. So first is study the PMI developed approved content. Don't study too much. Don't study too much. See, people generally confuse you by giving a lot of material to you, giving a lot of books to you. Just stick to one PMI authorized exam guide. That's it. You don't have to study. Okay, great. So let me play the video of conflict management for you. Yes, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So Joan, thanks for showing the interest, and Sairam, thanks for showing the interest. Okay. Okay. Okay, Samir, you have already enrolled. Thank you. Thanks for that. So let me talk about. So you have got the conflict management video. Yes, please go ahead.
We humans have a very strange quality. You can call it self-respect, ego, pride, or the will to prove oneself right. This can be a common cause for a rise in conflicts. In an organization where there are many people working together, where some actions affect others, conflicts can occur more than frequently. And this is why conflict management is an extremely important subject to understand so that harmony can be maintained in the company at all times. Let me ask you a question first. Are conflicts good or bad? Well, some of you may say, how can conflicts be good? Over the period of time, views on conflicts have changed. It was an old view that conflict is dysfunctional and caused by personality differences or a failure of leadership. Conflict is to be avoided, or conflict is resolved by physical separation or the intervention of upper management. Well, that was an old view. The new view is conflict is inevitable consequence of organizational interactions. Conflicts can be beneficial. Conflicts is resolved through identifying the causes and problem solving by people involved and their immediate manager. They can also be solved by referring to ground rules framed in the team charter, which was created at the beginning when the team started working together. Let us first understand what are the different types of conflicts. Conflicts can be divided into three main categories: task conflicts, relationship conflicts, and value conflicts. The task conflicts often involves issues related to an employee's work assignments and can include disputes about how to divide the tasks or resources, and also it can include different opinions about the work. Of the three conflicts, task conflict may appear to be the simplest to resolve. However, task conflicts often are more complex than they appear to be and need to be handled carefully. Some of the sources of conflicts are schedules. Someone told you that he will finish the work in 10 days and he didn't. This will result in a conflict. If you see carefully, your team or organization will benefit from this conflict because you are questioning the inefficiency. Priorities. Different people have different priorities. Maybe work that is important for the organization or a project, in your opinion, is not as important for someone else. Resources. We have limited resources. Two people might compete for the resources. Hey, I need that IT guy for 2 weeks. The other person says, sorry, he's not available. There's a conflict. Technical opinions. Technical opinions might be different, which might lead to conflicts. It is always good to explore all the possibilities in interest of the organization, and such conflicts can be good. Administrative procedures. People might not understand administrative procedures and might argue about it. Cost. Someone promised you that he will complete a job within the budget of $5,000, but now there is a cost overrun. Questioning would lead to conflicts, but would benefit the project or the organization. That was about task-related conflicts. Let us now look at relationship conflicts. This type of conflict arises due to differences in lifestyle, opinions, personality, and thoughts. In an organization, people with a vast range of lifestyles need to work together to reach certain goals. These people might not have common viewpoints or opinions, but still need to work in unison. It is obviously no surprise that relationship conflicts can be common in organizations. Value conflicts. This type of conflict arises from fundamental differences in identities and values. For example, differences in political, regional, and ethical thoughts or other deeply held beliefs. These types of conflicts can be difficult to resolve. But as they say, nothing is impossible. So let's see some of the conflict management strategies. Well, there are many different types of conflict management strategies, but I'm going to discuss the 5 major strategies. Before beginning, you must note one thing. Each strategy has its own benefits. There is no right or wrong conflict management style. As long as the style works for you, it can be called as perfect conflict management strategy. The first strategy is problem solving. Here, you confront the problem and solve it by identifying the root cause. For example, to resolve a conflict with a colleague in a project, you might say, well, it seems that the real problem here is not lack of communication, but lack of knowledge of what needs to be done and when. Here is a copy of the project schedule. It should let you understand what you need to know. The next strategy is collaborating. Collaborating involves a combination of being assertive and cooperative. Using this strategy, both sides can get what they want and negative feelings can be minimized. This strategy gives the best results when long-term relationships and outcomes are more important. For example, if two people want to lead the same project, you can divide the project into two, and then you can divide the responsibilities into two and ask each of them to lead their respective teams while collaborating. This is a win-win solution. The next strategy is competing. It involves a combination of being assertive and uncooperative, when one aims to pursue their own concerns at another person's expense. This strategy can be used when you don't care about the relationship, but the outcome is more important. We can call it as a win-lose strategy. Like when we play a game, the focus is on winning. For example, when you wish to compete with another company for a new client, this strategy can be used. However, don't use this strategy in your own organization, as the strategy does not help build relationships. Yet another strategy is avoiding. Avoiding involves a combination of being unassertive and uncooperative. You can diplomatically step aside from an issue or withdraw from a threatening situation. This strategy should be used when you don't wish to immediately solve an issue but want to wait for the right time to solve the conflicts. The next strategy is accommodating. Accommodating is the opposite of competing strategy. There is an element of self-sacrifice here. Now, this may seem generous, but it could take advantage of the weak and cause a resentment. This strategy can be used when you don't really care about the outcome but want to preserve the relationship. Maybe this relationship will give you long-term benefits. The next strategy, compromising. It aims to find a convenient and mutually acceptable solution that satisfies both parties to some extent. This strategy involves a combination of being a little assertive and a little cooperative. This strategy can be used when the outcome is not very important and you do not have enough time in hand. For example, to resolve a conflict between two persons, you can say, "Let us do a little bit of what both of you suggest." And the last strategy is forcing. It is about pushing one viewpoint at the expense of another. Do it my way, or sometimes, as many people say, my way or highway. The bosses often use this. As I said earlier, it's not that one strategy is better than the other. It depends on the situation. But in my opinion, problem solving that means confronting a problem by solving its root cause is the best one, if that is a possibility. Conflicts can be a part and parcel of your daily work, and this is why you should not be afraid when conflicts arise. There are things you can do, such as becoming more skilled and qualified in managing the conflicts. I hope this video helped you. For more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel.
Happy learning. Thanks for taking.
Okay, on that note, I'll just say goodbye, and of course, some more videos to just leave you if you are still interested in watching some one or two PMP related videos. And yeah, with that, a goodbye to everyone and have a nice evening. Thanks a lot. Tip number 1. Instead of studying too many books, study selectively using Pareto's 80-20 principle. Make sure you get the best guidance before you appear for the exam on what to study. For example, I provide my participants with the PMI developed content, which is more than enough for studying. Tip number 2. Set targets. Try to appear for the exam within 2 to 3 months of completing the 35 contact hours training. Don't start preparing without any target. Keep a goal and work towards it every day. Total of another 25 hours to 35 hours on chosen topic after your 35 hours of contact training is good enough. Tip number 3. In the training program, ask a lot of questions. The implementation of PMP training is quite different in theory and practical. Understand the concept from a practical implementation point of view. Tip number 4. Take online PMP mock exams. They aim to replicate the exam environment so you become comfortable with the timing and the pressure. Tip number 5. Participate in discussions and study groups. Teaching makes you a better learner. Discuss the concepts and clarify your queries as you get them.
Anexas PMP trainings incorporate all of these tips. We give you the PMI developed content as we are an authorized ATP. Just study that. Appear for mock exams and join our study groups for free after completing your trainings with us. Our classes are interactive and I will answer all your questions giving relevant examples. We even do 2 virtual projects. So join us today. If you are not doing project management training with me, then you are missing out on something.
The 5 mistakes you can't make before you take the PMP exam. The first one is relying solely on the free questions to study. Free questions can be great, but sometimes free questions may not do more than tell you that answer was wrong. Many paid for questions and exams will provide you with an explanation for the correct answer. This allows you to learn from your mistakes and to understand the rationale behind the correct answer. In Anexas, we provide you lots of mock exams which are almost cloning the real PMP exam. Mistake number 2, not taking full-length exams. Practice, practice, practice. Take the complete mock tests in a targeted time. Give the mock exams as if they were real. Mistake number 3, not understanding the formulae. Formulae are a part of project management as well as PMP exam. For the PMP exam, you need to know and understand the formulae and the concepts behind it. Just don't memorize it. In Anexas training programs, we explain the real concepts. Sometimes we even derive the formulae. So please remember the cost variance or the schedule performance index. Just don't remember the formulae, but also understand what it actually means. Mistake number 4, not setting the right time to take your exam. Ideally, it is good to write the exam within 3 months of attending a formal 35 hours of training. Mistake number 5, not attending a formal 35 hours training program because it's expensive. Taking the PMP exam demands that a person should attend a formal 35 hours of training program. Many people skip this training because it's a bit expensive, but we really urge all the people to attend the training even though it is expensive, because it will pay off in the end. By the way, Anexas training programs are not expensive at all, and you can contact us to know more about it, and wishing you the very best in your PMP exams.